Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to discuss about broad spectrum antibiotics. Before going to that, just we will revise about all antibiotics. What are antibiotics? These are the medicines used to kill or stop the growth of microbial life in the body. Which means these are the antibiotics are medicines which kills or stop the growth of the bacteria in the human body. It is generally used for bacterial infections. The term of antimicrobial is accepted as a broader definition and includes medicine used for the antibiotics. These are the medicines which is used for bacterial infections, viral infections, fungal and parasitic infections. The antibiotics are classified as based on mode of action and based on their spectrum of action. Based on mode of action, which has been divided into bacteriostatic and bactericidal actions. Bacteriostatic, which is nothing but it inhibits the growth of the bacteria. Bactericidal is the kills the organism, and also based on spectrum of action, which means it also divided into two types: broad spectrum antibiotics and narrow spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics, which means it acts against on both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. And narrow spectrum antibiotics, which only acts on specific organisms. So antibiotics has been divided into classified based on mode of action, that is bacteriostatic and bactericidal, and based on their it is classified based on their spectrum of action, that is broad spectrum and narrow spectrum antibiotics. Here some examples of narrow spectrum antibiotics are benzyl penicillins, oxacillin, erythromycin and polymyxins. These are the narrow spectrum antibiotics. And tetracyclines, aminoglycosides, semi-synthetic penicillins and carbamazepines, cephalosporins, levomycin and rifampicin. These drugs are comes under broad spectrum antibiotics. Narrow spectrum antibiotics are benzyl penicillins, oxacillin and erythromycin and polymyxins. Broad spectrum antibiotics are tetracyclines, aminoglycosides, semi-synthetic penicillins, carbapenems, cephalosporins, levomycin and rifampicin. Now coming to the broad spectrum antibiotics. Why we call broad spectrum antibiotics? Because it effective against wide range of microorganisms. What is mean by wide range of microorganisms? They are active against gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Apart from gram positive and gram negative bacteria, they also active against Rickettsia, Klebsiella, Mycoplasma, and some protozoa, etc. So we called as broad spectrum antibiotics. Why we call it is active against gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Apart from that, it is also active on Mycoplasma, Rickettsia, Chlamydia and some protozoal bacteria. What are the broad spectrum antibiotics? That is tetracyclines and chloramphenicol. Now we will discuss about tetracyclines. Tetra means 4. This nucleus contains 4 rings called tetracyclines. This tetracyclines, this is the 4 cyclic rings, so hence it's called tetracycline. They obtain from soil actinomycetes, so they are natural antimicrobial agents. It is slightly bitter in taste, yellow in color, poorly soluble in water, and aqueous solutions are unstable. It is obtained from soil actinomycetes, so it is a natural antimicrobial agent. It is a bitter in taste, yellow in color, poorly soluble in water. coming to the classification. Classification has been divided based on duration of the action. Here short acting tetracyclines are divided into three classes, that is short acting and intermediate acting and long acting drugs. Short acting drug duration of action is 6 to 8 hours. Intermediate action duration of action is the 12 hours, and long acting tetracyclines duration of action is 18 hours. Short acting drugs are tetracycline, oxytetracycline, and intermediate acting tetracyclines are democlocycline and metacycline, and long acting drugs are doxycycline, minocycline. This is the classification of tetracyclines, which has been divided into short acting, intermediate acting, long acting drugs. Oxy, tetracycline and tetracycline comes under short acting drugs, and the intermediate tetracyclines are democlocycline, metacycline. Long acting drugs are doxycycline, minocycline, and also plasma half-life 18 hours. This tetracyclines inhibits protein synthesis by binding the 30S ribosome subunit. And coming to the antibacterial spectrum of tetracyclines, tetracyclines called broad spectrum antibiotics because which acts on gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria and other organisms. It active against a number of bacilli and cocci and spirochetes, rickettsia, chlamydia, mycoplasma, and plasmodium. Sensitive organisms of tetracycline is gonococcus, meningococcus, Clostridium tetani, Vibrio cholerae, Bacillus anthracis, Corynebacterium diphtheriae, Haemophilus ducreyi, Yersinia pestis, Helicobacter pylori, Campylobacter jejuni, Brucellus spirochetes like Trypanosoma pallidum, and mycoplasma. These are the sensitive organisms of tetracyclines. Sensitive organisms of tetracyclines are gonococcus, meningococcus, Clostridium tetani, Vibrio cholerae, Bacillus anthracis, Corynebacterium diphtheriae, Haemophilus ducreyi, Yersinia pestis, Helicobacter pylori, Campylobacter jejuni, Brucellus spirochetes like Trypanosoma pallidum, and mycoplasma, etc. These are the sensitive organisms of tetracyclines. Next, coming to the mechanism of action of tetracyclines, which inhibit the protein synthesis of bacteria. How it will act? It will act on 30S ribosome. See here, this is the mRNA. This is the 30S ribosomal subunit, and here you can see it is the 50S ribosomal subunit. This is the tRNA. What will happen when this tetracycline enters into the bacterial cell wall by active transport mechanism, which is already we discussed in the aminoglycosides mechanism of action. What is meant by active transport mechanism? So here, this tetracycline command binds to the 30S ribosome in the bacteria by active transport. What is the active transport mechanism? When the tetracycline enters or penetrates into the cell wall of the bacteria, it enters into the periplasmic space by porine channels. After entering of the periplasmic space, it enters into the cell membrane of the bacteria. So when it enters into the cell cytoplasm of the bacteria, this tetracycline command binds to the 30S ribosome. Here you can see this is the 30S ribosome. So tetracycline enters into the bacteria and come and binds with the 30S ribosomal part and inhibits or binding. It prevents the binding of the tRNA to the mRNA. So what will happen when it binds? When tRNA do not bind to the mRNA, what is the function of tRNA? It carries amino acids to the ribosomal part. part of 30th subunit. So here this tetracycline command binds to the 30th ribosomal unit. It inhibits the prevention of the tRNA binding. So further, this tRNA carries amino acid to the mRNA and it inhibits the protein synthesis. So overall it inhibits the protein synthesis of the bacteria. This here tetracycline's command binds to the 30th ribosome. It inhibits the protein synthesis and growing peptide chain. This is the mechanism of action of tetracyclines. It binds to the 30th ribosome and it inhibits the prevention of the binding of the tRNA, and in tRNA carries protein amino acid needs for growing peptide chain is needed for protein synthesis. So this 30th this tetracyclines inhibits the protein synthesis and growing peptide chain. This is about the mechanism of action of the tetracyclines. Tetracyclines is a bacteriostatic antibiotic. It inhibits the protein synthesis by binding 30th ribosomal unit and by blocking or interface with the amino acid tRNA incorporation into the mRNA ribosomal complex. So it inhibits the peptide chain or growing peptide chain. Coming to the mechanism of resistance of tetracyclines, it has many bacteria now develop resistance of tetracyclines. That is, first one is the decreased cell permeability of the drug and increased drug efflux from the bacterial cell and ribosomal protection and enzymatic inactivation of the drug. Apart from among these, drug efflux is the most important mechanism. It increase efflux and decrease the efflux of the tetracyclines. With the help of the efflux pump, it displaces the tetracyclines by binding site and inactivation enzymes by various drugs. Next, coming to the absorption of the tetracyclines and oxytetracycline and demoxycycline are the incompletely absorbed from the GIT. It is incompletely absorption from GIT when we given orally, and food interferes with the absorption of tetracycline except doxycycline and minocycline. And doxycycline and minocycline are the completely absorbed from GIT. Absorption is better when we are given empty stomach. Tetracyclines having chelating property, it forms insoluble and unabsorbable complexes with milk, calcium, iron preparations, and also form antacids and sucralfate. Which means tetracyclines having chelating property means when it combines with calcium or iron and magnesium, it forms a unstable and unabsorbable complexes like tetracycline calcium orthophosphate complex. When it forms this complex, it will not be absorbed. It is an unabsorbable complexes. This complex will be deposited in the bones and teeth. It is widely distributed in the body. Tetracyclines are widely distributed in the body, and it is binding plasma protein drugs and concentrated in liver and spleen. It is deposited in bone and teeth, dental enamel, because it's formed a complex. It has a chelating property, and it is combines with calcium and iron. It forms a complex complex like tetracycline calcium orthophosphate complex. It will be deposited in bones and teeth. Minocycline is deposited in adipose tissue and intracellularly it binds to the mitochondria because of cerebrospinal fluid concentration is 25% of the plasma concentration. Tetracyclines are primarily excreted in urine by glomerular filtration. It is incompletely metabolized and a portion of tetracycline is excreted in urine. It is undergoes enterohepatic circulation and finally excreted in urine. It crosses blood-brain barrier and placenta. Some amount of tetracyclines are excreted in maternal milk. It is causing teratogenic effects, means in sufficient quantities to affect the suckling infant also. What are the preparations of tetracyclines? Tetracycline. This is the trade name of tetracycline, Fostacycline. It is available as 250 and 500 milligrams capsules. 500 milligram as capsules, and oxytetracycline is trade name of terramycin. It is also available as 250 and 500 milligrams. And democlocycline is the democlocycline trade name is the leadermycin. It is also available as 150 and 350 milligrams as capsules. And doxycycline tetradox. Doxycycline trade name is the tetradox 100 milligrams, and minocycline, his trade name is the cynomycin. It is available as a 50-100 milligrams. These are the trade names of the tetracyclines, which is available as dosage forms of the capsules. And doxycycline plasma half-life is 18 to 20 hours. The dose is, first day dose is 100 milligrams twice a day, and second day dose start with 100 milligrams once daily. And coming to the adverse effects or side effects of the tetracyclines, which causes kidney damage, anti-anabolic effects, phototoxicity, insipidus, liver damage, dentition, epigastric pain, nausea, means GIT, side effects, and vestibular toxicity and superinfection. These all are the side effects. Here is the easy to remember, how to remember. This is the one, the simple form is, it is a Kapil Dev. Who is Kapil Dev? He was the famous cricketer. So here you can see K indicates kidney damage, A for anti-anabolic effects, P for phototoxicity, I for diabetes insipidus, and L for liver damage, D indicates dentition, E indicates epigastric pain, nausea, vomiting and diarrhea, and V indicates vestibular toxicity, and S indicates superinfection. So students, you have to remember like that Kapil Dev. This is the side effects of the tetracyclines. You will see in the slide. First one is the kidney damage. It is a risk only in the presence of existing kidney diseases. All tetracyclines except doxycycline. All tetracyclines causes or increased renal failure except doxycycline. And it is a reversible. Fanconi syndrome-like conditions is produced by outdated tetracyclines. This is caused by degraded products of epitetracycline, N-hydrotetracycline, and N-hydrotetracycline. Fanconi syndrome. What is the Fanconi syndrome? Which means when we use outdated or expired tetracyclines, this is called expired tetracyclines. It damages proximal renal tubule. So when we use expired or outdated tetracyclines, it damages proximal renal tubule, mainly which is caused by degraded products like epitetracycline and hydrotetracycline and hydrotetracyclines. And next one is it causes phototoxicity. It is nothing but a sunburn like or other severe skin reactions on exposed parts is seen in some individuals. The relative scale of toxicity magnification ranges from the most to the least toxic is demoxycycline greater than chlortetracycline is greater than democlocycline is greater than tetracycline. Minoxycycline is the least phototoxic effect. Minoxycycline causes less side effects of less phototoxicity. And next one is the liver damage. It causes fatty liver, fatty infiltration of the liver, and jaundice occurs occasionally. Tetracyclines causes jaundice and fatty liver. Oxytetracycline and tetracycline is other safest drugs, but tetracyclines are risky in pregnant women. It can precipitate acute hepatic necrosis, which may be fatal. These tetracyclines oxytetracycline and tetracyclines are the safer drugs, but in pregnant women it is contraindicated. Teeth and bone black discoloration of the it acts on tetracyclines, acts on teeth and bone. It causes black and brownish discoloration of the teeth. Here you can see this is the blackish teeth, because tetracyclines has chelating property. It chelates calcium ions to form tetracycline calcium orthophosphate complexes. This is the this causes discoloration of the teeth. It is deposited on the enamel of the teeth. Children receiving long or short-term therapy with tetracyclines it may develop brown discoloration of the teeth. The drug deposit in the teeth and bones probably due to its chelating property we discussed in earlier. We discussed in the previous slide what is the chelating property. The drug deposits in the teeth and bones probably due to its chelating property and the formation of tetracyclines calcium orthophosphate complex, which is unobservable complex. It will deposit it on the teeth and bone. This is discoloration of teeth is permanent. Avoid giving. This is contraindicated to pregnant women and children under the age of 8. And the irritative effects. It acts on GIT. It causes epigastric pain and nausea and vomiting. And other side effects of tetracyclines, anti-anabolic effect. Tetracyclines reduce protein synthesis and have an overall catabolic effect. They induce negative nitrogen balance and can increase blood urea. Increased intracranial pressure is also increased intracranial pressure is a side effect of infants. It causes diabetes insipidus. It means nephrotoxic. It means demoxycycline antagonizes antidiuretic hormone action and reduces urine concentrating ability of the kidneys, which causes nephrotoxicity. Nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. Class out. Sorry for the disturbance. So tetracycline adverse effect is the diabetic insipidus. Democlocycline is antagonizes the antidiuretic hormone action and reduces urine concentrating ability of the kidney. Because here it blocks antidiuretic hormone action on the collecting duct. So when it blocks the antidiuretic hormone action, it causes nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. And vestibular toxicity is the adverse effect of the tetracyclines. Minocycline can cause ataxia, vertigo, and nystagmus. When we stop the drug, it is the discontinue the drug. It will these side effects are irreversible side effects. And what are the uses of tetracyclines? Tetracyclines are used in syphilis, anthrax, bacillary infections, that is brucellosis, tularemia, cholera, infections with spirochetes, that is ants, Lyme disease, and relapsing fever. And the tetracyclines used in syphilis and anthrax, which is caused by positive gram-positive bacteria, mainly affects in domestic animals. And bacillary infections like brucellosis, tularemia, and cholera, and infections like ants. It is a infections with spirochetes like ants. Yes, it is a bacterial infection that affects. It is a bacterial infection that affects skin, bone, and cartilage. And Lyme disease is which is caused by Borrelia bacteria. It is transmitted by ticks. And other uses, primarily tetracyclines used in the treatment of infections caused by Mycoplasma pneumonia, chlamydia, rickettsia, vibrio, and spirochetes. And first one, Mycoplasma causing atypical pneumonia, cholera, brucellosis. It causes highly efficacious and cause rapidly symptomatic relief and it is used in plague. It is highly effective in bubonic acid and pneumonic plague. And tetracyclines are also used in relapsing fever caused by Borrelia. And other uses, it is also used in rickettsial infections like typhus, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and Q fever. And it is also used in chlamydial non-specific urethritis. This tetracycline is also used in chloroquine resistance, Plasmodium falciparum malaria, mainly doxycycline. This doxycycline is used in chloroquine resistant Plasmodium falciparum malaria. And coming to the next broad spectrum antibiotic, which is chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol is the broad spectrum antibiotic isolated from Streptomyces venezuelae. It is the first discovered in 1947 from actinomycetes. It is present in a soil sample collected in Venezuela. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic. First one is the tetracycline and another one is the chloramphenicol. These two are the broad spectrum antibiotics because it active against both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Apart from gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, it also acts on Mycoplasma, rickettsia, etc. And it is chloramphenicol is isolated from Streptomyces venezuela, and it is also obtained from actinomycetes. It is a natural soil source. It is a nitrobenzene moiety that is responsible for antibacterial activity and bitter taste. Chloramphenicol is a nitrobenzene moiety that is responsible for antibacterial activity and bitter taste. It is entirely synthetic and yellowish white crystalline solid, and it is soluble in water. Chloramphenicol is entirely synthetic broad spectrum antibiotic. It is soluble in water. Coming to the antibacterial spectrum of chloramphenicol is active against a wide range of gram-negative organisms like Salmonella typhi, and typhoid fever sensitive to chloramphenicol before 1980s, but now it became resistant. Other sensitive bacteria are Haemophilus influenzae, Klebsiella, Neisseria, anaerobic bacteria like Bacteroid flagellus. These are the sensitive organisms: Haemophilus influenzae, Klebsiella, Neisseria, and the Bacteroid flagellus. These are the sensitive organisms of chloramphenicol. Mainly, it active against gram-negative organisms like Salmonella typhi and sensitive on Haemophilus influenzae, Klebsiella, Neisseria, and other and anaerobic bacteria like Bacteroid flagellus. Coming to the mechanism of action of chloramphenicol, it is a bacteriostatic action. It binds to the 50S ribosomal unit and sensitize the bacteria prevents. It binds. Here you can see this is the mechanism of action of chloramphenicol. This chloramphenicol command binds to the 50S ribosomal subunit. This is the 50S ribosomal subunit. This is the 30S ribosomal subunit. Here is mRNA. Here you can see here. This is the tRNA. So this chloramphenicol enters into the bacteria by active transport or through protein channel. When it enters into the bacteria, it command binds to the 50S ribosomal subunit and prevents the growing peptide chain, prevents the binding of the tRNA to the mRNA. It inhibits the protein synthesis and growing peptide chain. Here, chloramphenicol binds to the 50S ribosomal subunit, prevents the peptide bond formation and stop protein synthesis. Here you can see tetracyclines. Tetracyclines are binds to the 30S ribosome. Here, chloramphenicol is the binds to the 50S ribosomal of the ribosomal subunit of the bacteria. When 30S ribosomal tetracycline command binds to the 30S ribosomal subunit on mRNA, it inhibits or prevention of the tRNA binding to the mRNA, and it inhibits the growing peptide chain and protein synthesis. Like that, chloramphenicol also command bind to the enters into the bacteria and command binds to the 50S ribosomal subunit. It inhibits the binding of the tRNA to the mRNA. What is the function of the tRNA? Here, tRNA carries amino acids and proteins. This amino acids needs for protein synthesis and growing peptide. So here, chloramphenicol and tetracycline, these both are binding to chloramphenicol binding to 50S ribosomal subunit and tetracycline binding to 30S ribosomal subunit, and inhibits or prevention of binding of the tRNA binding, and it inhibits the growing polypeptide chain and protein synthesis. This is about mechanism of action of the chloramphenicol and tetracyclines. So coming to the absorption of the chloramphenicol, it is rapidly absorbed and completely absorbed from the GIT. Rapidly and completely absorbed from gastrointestinal tract. It is 50 to 60% plasma binding drug. It is well distributed in the body and it crosses blood-brain barrier, and to reach the brain, it is also present in the cerebrospinal fluid. It crosses placenta to reach fetus and also present in milk and bile. Chloramphenicol also crosses placenta and to reach the fetus and also present in the milk and bile. Plasma half-life is 3 to 5 hours. It is metabolized in liver. It is excreted in urine after conjugation with glucouronic acid. It is metabolized in liver, excreted in urine. Chloramphenicol preparations are available as chloromycetin, enteromycetin, paraxin. Dose is 250 to 500 milligrams. This is available as a capsules like chloromycetin, enteromycetin, and paraxin. It is also available as a eye ointments and ear drops. 0.5 to 1% of eye ointment available of eye ointments and 5 to 10 grams of ear drops. Chloramphenicol side effects. It causes hypersensitivity reactions, but it is low incidence and may precipitate hemolysis in glucose 6-phosphate deficiency in patients. Glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficient in patients, and it also causes aplastic anemia and gray baby syndrome and super infections and some drug interactions. Chloramphenicol interacts with some other drugs. It inhibits the liver microenzymes like phenytoin, tolbutamide, chlorpropamide, and anticoagulants. It causes hypersensitivity reactions, aplastic anemia, baby syndrome, supra-infection or superinfections, and it also inhibits some other microsomal enzymes. Aplastic anemia, it is the most serious side effect of the chloramphenicol treatment. This effect is rare and generally is a fetal. There is no treatment and it is also unpredictable one. It is a severe idiosyncratic depression of the bone marrow. It is resulting in pancytopenia, which means decreased in all blood cell elements. It is independent of dose and it may occur after therapy. It is independent of dose because it may occur after stoppage of drug. Bone marrow suppression is chloramphenicol is commonly causes bone marrow suppression during treatment. This is a direct toxic effects of the drug on human mitochondria. This effect manifests first as a fall in hemoglobin level. The anemia is dose dependent and fully reversible once drug is stopped. Chloramphenicol, it causes bone marrow depression. It is reversible. When we stop the drug, it is the dose dependent and reversible. When we stop the drug, usage of drug, this side effect is subsided. And it causes leukemia. There is increased risk of childhood leukemia for long-term treatment. Long-term treatment of chloramphenicol. And it also causes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea like gastrointestinal disturbances. It also causes oral and vaginal candidiasis. And this dose-related reversible suppression of red cell production is exceeded the 50 milligrams per kg body weight after 1 to 2 weeks. It also causes aplastic anemia. It is an idiosyncratic reaction. It's unrelated to dose. But here, this bone marrow depression is the dose-related side effect. When it causes, it exceeds the 50 milligrams of dose 1 to 2 weeks. Then only it will cause bone marrow depression and gray baby syndrome. It is a newborn infant. Lack of an effective glucuronic acid conjugation mechanism. The doses above 50 milligrams per kg per day, the drug may accumulate in body. It causes vomiting, flaccidity, hypothermia, gray color, shock, and vascular collapse. To prevent this, dose should be carefully decided in infants and kept below the dose of chloramphenicol. See here, this is the picture of gray baby syndrome. When it will occur, this gray baby syndrome will occur of chloramphenicol when it will be given intravenously. It causes gray baby syndrome. The symptoms of hypotension and cyanosis it causes. These are the severe adverse effects, hypertension and cyanosis. This condition can be prevented by using the drug at the recommended doses and monitoring the blood levels. This gray baby syndrome occurs when it will give intravenous route. And other side effects are superinfection and suprainfection. It is nothing but the appearance of the new infection due to repeated use of tetracyclines. Because it is incomplete absorption of gastrointestinal tract, it causes alteration of normal gut flora. Here, it is superinfection is nothing but a new infection due to repeated use of tetracyclines because it is incomplete absorption of the GIT, absorption from GIT, and it also causes alteration of the normal gut flora. It will cause some new infections like diarrhea, oral thrush by Candida albicans. This Candida oral thrush is for oral thrush, this treatment of the antifungal drug is a drug of choice for oral thrush, which is caused by Candida albicans. Fluconazole is the antifungal drug. It is the drug of choice for oral thrush, which is caused by Candida albicans. Other side effects causes chloramphenicol causes nausea, vomiting, unpleasant taste, diarrhea, and perineal irritation. May follow the oral administration of chloramphenicol. These are the side effects of when we'll give oral administration. We'll get nausea, vomiting, unpleasant taste, diarrhea, perineal irritation. And among the rare toxic effects produced by these antibiotics are blurring of vision and digital paresthesia. Optic neuritis occurs in 3% to 5% of children. Drug interactions of chloramphenicol, it is inhibiting hepatic P450 enzymes, thus prolonging the half-life of drugs that metabolized by this system. Means this chloramphenicol inhibits or prolonging the half-life of drugs are warfarin, phenytoin, and tolbutamide, and also increase the metabolism of drugs like rifampicin, phenytoin, and phenobarbital. If you have to combined with penicillin and chloramphenicol, it should be dosed later. And it is also antagonistic action to lincomycins and macrolide drugs. Drug interactions of chloramphenicol when we'll take along with chloramphenicol along with paracetamol. Paracetamol enhances the bioavailability of the chloramphenicol by 28%, and chloramphenicol is a potent inhibitor. It is a potent inhibitor or inhibits the metabolism of morphine, chlorpropamide, and warfarin drugs. Coming to the uses of chloramphenicol, which is used in typhoid, typhus, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and meningococcal meningitis, and topical for eye infections. Chloramphenicol has a wide range activity that include gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Apart from that, the anaerobic it acts also. It is acts against aerobic and anaerobic bacteria because the potential toxicity, bacterial resistance, and availability of many other drugs, effective alternatives to chloramphenicol. It may be considered for treatment of typhoid fever, bacterial meningitis, and rickettsial diseases. It is used in typhoid fever. Bacterial meningitis is an alternative to beta-lactam for treatment of meningococcal meningitis occurring in patients who have a major hypersensitivity reactions to penicillin or bacterial infections caused by penicillin-resistant strains of pneumonia. It is second drug of therapy because when it is first line therapy is the penicillins for bacterial meningitis. Here penicillins, patients who have major hypersensitivity reactions to penicillin, particularly those patients, we have to give chloramphenicol as a treatment for bacterial meningitis. And it is also used in rickettsial disease, alternative to tetracycline, especially in children less than 8 years old, because it causes the staining of teeth with discoloration. It is a side effect for children's discoloration of the teeth and bone. And other uses, it is caused by bacterial fragilis and other wound infections. It is used in chloramphenicol used in anaerobic infections. It is caused by bacterial fragilis and other wound infections. Pelvic, brain axis are also well observed with chloramphenicol. It is also used in conjunctivitis and also used in ear infections. It is used in urinary tract infections. Chloramphenicol is used in conjunctivitis, ear infections, typhoid, and urinary tract infections. So this is about tetracyclines, broad spectrum antibiotics, that is tetracyclines and chloramphenicol. Tetracyclines, why we call broad spectrum antibiotics? These broad spectrum antibiotics active against both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Apart from that, which acts on active against Rickettsia, Mycoplasma, and some protozoa and etc. And what is the mechanism of chloramphenicol and tetracyclines? When it enters into the bacteria, these drugs, tetracycline enters into the bacteria by active transport mechanism. It command binds to the 30S ribosome. Like that, chloramphenicol command binds to the tetracycline, command binds to the bacteria, it binds to the 50S ribosome. These both are binds to, one is tetracycline is binds to the 30S ribosome and chloramphenicol is binds to the 50S ribosome. These both are inhibits the prevention of the binding of the tRNA. What will happen? This tRNA carries amino acids. It inhibits the protein synthesis. This is the mechanism of action of tetracyclines and chloramphenicol. Thank you.